So today we are in the Range Rover Evoque. Now, you might think Evoque, this looks very much like the interior of the Range Rover Vela or the big boy Range Rover Sport. Actually, this is the Evoque and they're all very similar. Yes, the family resemblance is there on the inside and also on the outside. So this new Evoque arrived in Malaysia very recently, priced from 498,000 ringgit. But we are driving the high-spec version of the Evoque, which is called the P250. Now, I'll share with you some of the specs later, but the most important thing is to understand a little bit of history for the Evoque. Now, the Evoque first arrived, the nameplate, the model first arrived in 2011, in early 2011. When it arrived in Malaysia, it was priced from 300,000 ringgit to 390,000 ringgit. It ran a 2-litre engine and also it had a diesel engine, petrol and diesel engine. At that time, runaway success. Everybody wanted an Evoque. It was the baby Range Rover and that made it very, very popular. Till today, you see so many of these older Evoques on the road and they're doing very well. Now comes the third generation. So the second generation came around the year 2000. They also had two variants, but they didn't have a diesel. They had two variants of the petrol engine, and that was using an Ingenium engine. It was powerful, it was good looking, it still had that, compact baby Range Rover look, but it looked a little bit different from the big brother because it had more of a streamlined look. And then there was the Vela, and you know the Vela is another popular model from Range Rover. So Range Rover had three offerings: the baby, I would say the young adult, which is the Vela, and then you had the mature Range Rover. Now this is a hot hatch on steroids. 21-inch wheels, low profile tires, tight suspension, 249 brake horsepower. It just rocks. It brakes very well. It corners with enthusiasm. It's just whole lot of fun. So Range Rover has given the Evoque, I would say, a little bit of a hot hatch excitement in an SUV body. Now let's look around the vehicle. Let me share with you all the new features that you'll see on the outside of the vehicle. So, very important to take a closer look at this. This is the Evoque. As I said earlier, it's a new third generation model. Now you'll ask me, what's the difference? The streamlined shape is still there, but what they've done is the rear lamps are now very much like the Range Rover, the big boy Range Rover. And then you got this whole section coming around here, wrapped around, very clean, smoothened rear end like the Range Rover Sport. Streamlined to the rear, you got pop-out door handles. Then you come to the front, and the front is where you'll notice the biggest difference from the older Evoque and the current Evoque. From this angle, it looks exactly like the Range Rover Sport. The nice new headlamps, the Range Rover grille, the new Range Rover grille, and the slant. So it's carrying the physical features of the Range Rover Sport in a smaller body shell. Underneath the hood, 2-litre engine, 0 to 100 in 7.6 seconds. Get in, and you have all the luxury that you'll find in the Vela and the Range Rover Sport. So what it is, it's basically a smaller version. It's taken every element of the Vela and the Range Rover Sport and just compressed it into this small little hot hatch crossover, hot hatch SUV, whatever way you want to look at it. You see the height is not very tall. Big 21-inch wheels. Beautiful streamlined shape. If you look at it from the side, look at the shape. It's a very streamlined shape. It's not that large, yet it's a Range Rover and it has all the features that you'll find in this big brother. So Take it out for a test drive, and I think you'll be as impressed as we were. But the price is not for everybody. It starts at 498,000, moves up to 560,000. So only a very select few Malaysians will be able to afford the Range Rover badge and an Evoque.